Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them. I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the Marvel fan set that I have plot synopsis and character bios for this issue. This issue is from 1983, and it is The New Mutants number 8, and it is the first issue with this the Marvel thing here. If you remembered, prior to that it was the Marvel at the top. This is the first one with the Marvel on the corner box. This is my era when I was growing up. I was 9 years old, and a lot of the stuff was kind of when I started collecting comic books. So, all right. So, I just have to say something. First of all, the cover's pretty cool here. They're not as tough as they look, are they, Sam? There's finding these native women here, and Sam is like, so a bit of a humorous cover. So I have to say something here before we kind of get into things. Chris Claremont sometimes just, it seems like things just work for him. Like he just starts out, and I know that he has a plan, but sometimes I think he kind of struggles a little bit, kind of getting to where he wants to go. And I think like the Brute Saga was one of them in the X-Men, and but eventually he does always make the landing stick, but sometimes he gives you a little bit of turbulence on the way there. So the road to Rome with a question mark, and you'll see why. So we are continuing. The X-Men are in Japan during this time. So the which I have a playlist. So I have a New Mutants playlist, I have an X Universe playlist, and I have an X-Men playlist. Everything's in reading order. The New Mutants are just the New Mutants. The X-Men are just the X-Men. But in the X Universe is everything. So all in reading order from the beginning of Giant Size X-Men number 1, which I covered as Classic X-Men number 1, to current. I am putting everything. The Wolverine limited series is in there. I also have a, check out the playlist. I got you covered. But the most important thing is I'm doing all these things in reading order. So, again, the Amazon, and we got Wolfsbane here, Rain Sinclair, and the New Mutants. Professor X sent them away while he searches for Karma, and they're playing a game of hide and seek. And Rain sees her and startles her. And Rain thinks it's funny just because how scared she was. But Danny's kind of angry. She's like, you're not supposed to scare me. You could have triggered my power if I could have reached into your mind and pulled out spirit forms of your worst nightmares. I could have hurt you. I could have hurt you, Rain, badly. And she goes, Danny, stop yelling. I didn't feel so good. And Rain, and it's the humidity, because of course she's from Scotland. She's not used to being this hot, and of course she's wearing that long sleeve thing. People, you need to dress better, which is funny because everybody else is kind of dressed for the occasion except Rain here. And so he sees her, and she's been practicing with her power, so she actually can start to put in other mirages. So even though it's not real, she thinks it is. So she feels very happy that it's snowing here. But here's the thing. If you're getting a heat stroke, all that isn't going to make you. Just because you feel cool doesn't mean you're cool. Your body temperature would go up. So Sam's going to kind of use his powers and try to avoid all these trees, which he does. He's trying to get better control of this, but he ends up hitting one. And of course, he's invulnerable while he's flying. That tree is going to get toppled over. So Sunspot uses his power now to get, or to break the tree here. And I know that I'm kind of just narrating. Normally, I kind of read with you guys, but there's just so much, and I'm trying to keep some of these videos to within 30 minutes. Um, I know I can't always do that, but Chris Claremont in particular is so wordy that if I just start reading everything, his videos are taking like 40, 45 minutes, and that's what I'm trying to avoid here. So, all right, and so Sunspot has like some kind of satellite um radio, but it's got a monitor in here. And so he's trying to contact Professor Xavier here. And real quick here, he's very Sunspot's very protective about the forest, and even knocking one tree down, he thinks it is uh, something. And they're like, it was an accident. He says it doesn't matter. Um, the end result is the same. The tree is dead. So he contacts Professor Xavier. And Sunspot says, "You look well, sir." And Professor says, "You do as well. Sorry, you do. As do you all, Roberto. Enjoying your trip?" And he says, Sunspot says, "I have the telemetry on our latest training sessions. I'm transmitting them directly into your computers." And Professor X says, "Splendid. I'll have my evaluations ready for tomorrow's call. Thus far, I'm most impressed by your progress. Is there any word on Shan, Professor?" That would be Karma, who is seemingly, you know, disappeared. We will pick up with her again. He says, "No, lad. I think we must face the facts and accept the reality that she is gone." Professor doesn't think that, but he's telling them that. And again, check out the playlist. And Sunset says, "Shouldn't we return home?" And Xavier says, You're better off where you are. At the moment, I have my hands full dealing with the new arrival amongst the X-Men and the training Team America. If you're needed, rest assured I'll contact you. Till then, make the most of your holiday." And so this is Team America, who had a series but ended up getting canceled. I don't know why Claremont brought him in, honestly, but regardless. And so Danny says, "There's something he wasn't telling us about Shan's death. You could hear it in his voice." And Bobby says, "Not me. I think he just doesn't care." And Danny says, "Once I'd have agreed with you, Berto, but not anymore. I wonder if he's trying to protect us," she thinks. And Sunspot says, "From what? If he cares as much as you say, Danny, he don't seem right for him not to trust us." And Bobby says, "It's because we're so young. We're kids, ex-babies. Nobody takes us seriously. There's the boat. Another half hour, and we should be on board." And Danny, you can see her take off her clothes. She says, "You guys can slog through the mud if you want, but me, I'm gonna swim across." "Danny, no. Are you crazy?" And so they get in the water. Um, and he's throwing chum into the water, and which of course is going to bring piranhas here. Now, she ends up getting going to get attacked by piranhas. Now, here's the thing: piranhas, for the most part, do not attack people. They'd actually, most of the time, they don't attack large animals. That's the thing of Hollywood. Now, they do, however, bite. Particularly, okay. So there's incidents like that piranhas have attacked people because people in the Amazon, tourists are throwing food into the water to watch the piranhas. So they're used to receiving food. So when people get in the water, these animals are like, "Oh, people are throwing food," so they bite. And so, but in the most part, naturally, they don't do that. But because they're now accustomed to getting, people, because people are stupid and people suck, they do things they're not supposed to all the time. Thus, it happens. But naturally, you can normally swim in a piranha infested river and you're not gonna get bit. So, but he did throw chum in the water, so they would most likely start biting. It's not like these animals are ultra smart. She uses her powers sort of to scare him off and ask for help, and here comes Sunspot. and he grabs her. And here's the, if you remember, this is Bobby's mom, and these are some of the people from the thing she rented. And he ends up getting back into the beach and sees these warrior women on the other side. So, she ends up kicking him, and Sam is like, "These ladies are not friendly. I'm glad my papa isn't here to see this. He brought me up to treat girls with respect." "Watch it, Danny. They play rough," he says. "No problem, Sam. So do I." So you can see he grabs her and tosses her into the other ones. Um, and so these three run away, but they did catch one of them. So, all right. So they're going to take her and find out what is going on. And so, um, they're going to take, like, oh my god, too many characters here. Cannonball says maybe Bobby's mom can tell us. And Danny's like, "Heads up, pal. I've got a nasty feeling our hassles are just beginning." So now all of a sudden everybody knows that the kids are mutants and they don't want to work for them. And this is the captain. He's like, "Hey, before all this, you people thought they were fine kids, and now you've got problems with them. They're still the same one." So this guy kind of takes the side of the boss, and so, all right. Um, the captain says, "Everybody aboard. Good. Let's shove off. By the time those Indians regroup, I want to be far from here." So, all right. So off they go, and they got the prisoner here. They want to find out who this is. So Daddy's like, "The skipper's posting guards for the night. I'll stand and watch a sentry." "Me too. Any luck, mother?" says Sunspot. "I've tried every dialect I know. She won't talk. And these arrows, one is Jivaro, native to this region. The other's Jovito from Peru, 500 miles away. The girl herself is neither." And Sunspot says, "Her knife doesn't look Indian. No, this is steel, a modern design and sophisticated workmanship. None of the Amazon tribes have achieved such level of technology. Who are you, girl? Where the devil do you come from?" But she's not answering. She's just looking down. And so outside, beware of their rifles. They cannot hit what they cannot see. They are helpless in the dark. So, put down your bows. We dare not risk Lady Amara's life. So if that name is familiar, I'll tell you at the end. For now, we wait, bide our time. She will find a way to signal us, and when she does, we strike. So, all right, we're back in Rio de Janeiro, and of course, we see Bobby's dad, who is a rich businessman, and he gets notes here that he's burning here. Your agent Castro's attempt at sabotage has thus far proven unsuccessful. His performance is hardly an inducement for me to join your inner circle of the Hellfire Club. And Shaw says, "It is a difficult assignment to stop the expedition without harming your wife or son, especially since the boy and his school friends are mutants." And so you can see he moves things. He's going to press this. "Have you any idea what's at stake?" he says. And so basically what he wants to do is he wants to mine the Amazon rainforest and basically destroy it because, hey, everything's about money. So just kind of gave you everything here in a nutshell. And he's bringing entertainment for him and Shaw. And Shaw says, Emmanuel, ever the perfect host." So, all right, you can see the sun is coming up, and they arrive to the Maderia, which is the woodlands. In a day or so, we'll leave the river and start hiking. In a day or so, you can see, like in a few hours, that thing is right there. And Danny says, I thought the mountains back home in Colorado were impressive. Of course, the Andes are quite the thing. According to legend, there's a lost civilization hidden in those peaks. A city of gold. There's no such thing. Um, from the other side of the world. There's been a lot of expeditions over the year, but no one's ever found anything. More than a few parties were never heard from again. We're following in their footsteps, asks or says Rain Wolfsbane. Some vacation, says Cannonball. Uh, and the captain says, they're just stories, Senor Guthrie. Nothing to be worried about. Here you say Senhor. It's not Senhor. It's Senor. They, unfortunately, that's not how it's spelled either. That's just anglicized. So, um, and then he says, except that every legend is supposed to have a basis in fact. And Sunspot's like, look, the river forks up ahead. That it does, but if you want to stay healthy, you steer clear of the tributary. The current's faster in Sen, and there are rapids that smash even a boat like this to kindling. So it's good to know because that's gonna be coming up here. And so here comes Rain, gonna bring some food to the prisoner, but this guy is interrogating her very badly here and slapping her. He's like, I want information from this savage. He's like, hey, we don't do that. And he's like, yeah, I warned you, brat. And then hits Wolfsbane. And Wolfsbane's not very happy. And of course, she's got a power and turns into a wolf. And he runs away. So, she apologizes and lets her go. And, she goes, my name is Rain. And she goes, Rain, aye, that's it. See, Rain, Ron. Because most people would say Ron, but it's Rain. And so she says, Amara. And so, oh, that sounds lovely, she says. I didn't, I'm sorry, Amara. I didn't mean to be acting so badly. And she's crying here. She feels terrible because of how frightened Castro was when he saw her change and feels that the new mutants are not or mutants aren't accepted, which is of course the whole premise of it. Love the screen tones being used, absolutely lovely, lovely, lovely screen tones here. Bob McLeod. These inkers from back then, screen tones had to be laid out, and that was a pain. It's not now like you can just digitally do it. So, all right, and so they're she's coming out, and everybody's full of arrows, and um, this Castro hits her, knocks her out, um, and she wakes up. Everybody's there, but not dead. Why not kill him? Who knows? But um, and he says, Berto Castro hit me, and he says, Bobby says, he got the rest of us with drugged food, but why didn't he finish us off? Exactly my question too. This can't be a kidnapping. We're alone on the boat. Why'd the crew join him? It can't be because we're mutants. Unless this is another attempt to stop Mother's expedition, like the attack on her in Rio. And here they go. They're about to fall down. He's trying to stop it, but he hits, and they're about to go down the rapids, which they do. And Cannonball goes into action, grabs Danny. Sunspot's gonna go get his mom, but he's hit in the head with that piece. And so Sunspot's gonna get him rescued. Again, I apologize that I'm not reading verbatim like I normally do. It's just these can be so wordy. I just apologize. But he catches. Oh, she going after Amara. Wolfsbane grabs her, but turns out she's blonde. So now, if you remember, I'll go ahead and tell you this will be the next member of the New Mutants, Magma. So, and Rain's surprised she speaks English. So, She grabs her, pulls her out of safety, um, and he's like, "Hey, is who is this?" Because she's white and blonde, and she's saying, "Hey, this is the Indian we captured." So, the mom has disappeared, and Bobby's so sad. Um, and he's like, "Mother, mother," and here suddenly they are surrounded. "Silence! If you wish to live, you'll neither speak nor move. You are prisoners of the fourth Manipul First Cohort Thunderclap Legion, and henceforth slaves of the Imperial Rome." So Romans in um the Amazon rainforest. So next issue, Arena. So thus ends our issue here. New Mutants #8. Chris Claremont, Sal Buscema, and Bob McLeod. Did I even read the credits? I don't think I read the credits in the beginning. I apologize. Anyway, like and subscribe. I do thank you for listening. Goodbye.